Oh, you're live again.
Here you go.
LMAO. Layla and I are gonna play. At MJ Layla Mobile Legends?
Hey. Oh my god. I am eating a snack, RN.
Yeah, I know. I sadly can't join. Paimon.
HIS. I am joining in a second.
Advaru Lol.
Michelle. Why?
At MJ Lol. Why are you streaming at 4 a.m.? Because.
Layla. Work. Ah, yeah. Weekday. Your sleep schedule is FC Ked up. At S in Ma country now it's 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Are you just going to be playing Minecraft every day now?
Do you even sleep?
Advaru, thanks for the rose. No. Anyway, WHO put the sign on my door.
Advaru for me, it's 9 p.m. lol.
Gonna play horror on Saturdays. At MJ, that's not Rose. Sakura.
Yay.
Oops.
Here you go.
I am blind. Are MJ and Starboy still in the water?
What water?
Still water. Corner water.
At S go sleep bay. IGTG bye.
Are they drowning adhesive bandage? In the construction site. Okay, Michelle, lesson 3. It is their axolotls. At Michelle, bye. At Varu, what? It's so early. Where's Layla? At Maritsu, cute. I can't sleep, what?
HII.
Hi.
He.
Hi Cavitham joined the game. Eviolina will join the game.
Smile
Ryan says golden ho.
PWWWIC.
Eviolina says
Viata
Hajajaja
Omega.
Hajayaj Minecraft
Zombie
Minecraft
attack.
Minecraft. Hi Cavitham says my golden hoe is Al Hatham. Eviolina says well said. Rickarian says real. Rickarian says hi Paimon. Eviolina
Tried
says
downloading
hello.
Minecraft, but I can't.
Hi.
Oh, why? Who plays Mobile Legends?
I don't play MLS in 3. I'm coming on, give me a second.
Yay.
At MJ Way. IDK, my PC lagged too much when I opened the game. That's about to explode.
Ah.
Mobile Mick.
Hi Cavitham.
FR, it's burning. I'm
Home.
at MJ Mac
Rick
and
Ryan
Cheese.
says
Hi.
Hi. I like cheesecake. Same.
Hi Cavitham says well probably do horror later though.
Yes.
Rick
My
Ryan said
bird died.
At MJ, my wifey now.
Here you go.
Cheesecake.
At your local editor, 49%. Oh no, sad face.
LMAO.
Poor birdie.
She's ALR getting replaced.
Within macaw. Damn.
Hi Cavitham says how to tame. Rick Ryan says Eviolina says feed seed.
Adhesive bandage.
Hi Cavitham says oh okay. Rick Ryan says I'm sleepy.
At your local editor, 49%. OMG, sorry for your loss.
Eviolina says go sleep then brew.
It was my brother's pet. I took care of her
Rick Ryan
24/7.
says I just woke
sigh.
up like 7 hours ago. Hi Cav.
Ah, bro.
Eviolina says what?
Always the pets I like always die.
Eviolina says
Sad.
what is your sleep schedule? Rick Ryan says LMAOO. Rick Ryan says I sleep in the morning. Eviolina says
Emo phase gonna hit. Pets should live longer, TBH. That's true. LMAOO. At SFR.
Rick Ryan says he.
We need them to stay forever with us.
Miritsu01 joined the game. Eviolina
Hi.
says hello.
Can't even
Rick Ryan
imagine my
says hi.
baby's gone.
At S one day.
I've lost so many
Rick
pets at
Ryan
Adhesive
says
Bandage.
LMAOO.
Sadly. Bro IDK, how many pets we replaced? Instead of being sad, can we just talk about food?
I love FUD.
Rick Ryan says I love
FRR.
Enderman.
Marshmallows.
They hit.
Eviolina says I killed one.
OMG. Lasagna OMG. Hi. Love them.
Rickorion says
Hi.
why is one cow out?
Lasagna. Yes,
Miritsu01 was slain
TT,
by
let me
Enderman.
speak. Bobataro.
I love lasagna.
Hi Cavatham says server running a lot better TBH. Eviolina says yet.
Or Caesar salad W fries. Damn. Twinkies like the food.
Eviolina
Plus ice cold water. Once I almost
Miritsu01
burned my
says my
friend's house
Homura
while
skin
trying to grow
doesn't work.
marshmallows.
Rickorion
That
says
is
you
what-
got a cute skin though.
That's so real. I'm dangerous W Fire IG. Who loves Duncan? Advaru
Miritsu
ME.
Rickorion says no idea. Eviolina says let me help search.
We will.
Miritsu01 says I don't believe that. Rickorion says what? Eviolina says there's a green one here. Miritsu01 says you killed my last one. Rickorion says that was a creeper.
At your local editor, 49% glazed donuts. How are you tilde?
Miritsu01 says tots
W
what they all
caramel
say.
macchiato. Advaru yes OMFG in VANILA.
Hello, Mian. Nyan. Mayan. Konnichiwa.
Donuts. And Long Johns. I live for donuts.
Glazed donuts plus caramel macchiato. It is so far. Yum. I live for food.
Pink Donuts TBH. Real.
It's Starboy, hello and bye, father. It's our idol Starboy.
Yo. Hey, Donut Boy. It is.
Do we FW pink donuts? Peace.
At Starboy, absolutely. FYM,
Rick Orion says I need to find some iron.
IFW every donuts NGL.
Miritsu01 says I have some. Hi Kavatham says should. Rick
Boston
Orion
Donuts
says
OMG, I love it.
BRPYR.
Also W the special white ones.
Rick
At
Orion says I
Starboy
owe. Rick Orion says thank you, love.
the special ones.
Krispy Kreme.
At Starboy, yes, everyone.
Hi Kavatham says he'll
At
get food RN.
MJOFC.
Miritsu01
Depends
says
on
I
who
have
made
13
it.
more if you want to borrow.
Oh my.
Rick Orion says it's all good.
At LEVIFR.
Rick Orion says I Jason need to find diamonds for pickaxe. Rick Orion says for nether portal. Rick Orion says I want Loswitons. Rick Orion says glowstone. Miritsu01 says BRB. Miritsu01 left the game. Hi Cat.
S story is so real. I am hungry.
Same. It's your fault though, Varu.
El Hatham made them. But they're sold out. Oh. At Starboy, I'll eat Al Hatham donuts.
I'll get some. At MJ, I am a person who has fast metabolism.
At S girl.
Too wild.
Same.
Yes. 3. At S real. Not wild enough.
I am always hungry, but it's hard to gain weight.
I literally can't gain weight.
Try harder.
Hi
Take
Kavatham
mine.
says should I make cookies? Evialinova says yes. Rick. Evialinova says wait in MC or IRL. Rick Orion says LMAOO.
At Remy, please. Yes, pizza. I want to go to the gym.
Evialinova says
At MJ me?
Evialinova says
Lazy,
in
though.
case you didn't know.
Gym boy win.
2 slices of pepperoni pizza.
Gym boy LMAOO.
I want pizza.
Gym boy.
I love pepperoni
Rick
pizza.
Orion says why.
Pepperoni pizza.
Rickerian says
pizza.
they want it. Eviolina says cookies are poisonous to parrots.
I am
Rickerian
just a boy
says
weighing
hat.
under 60. I
Eviolina
got
says
this
they
3
killed him.
months, Jim She. Damn. Cheese stuffed crust pizza. 1 month.
At Starboy, congrats.
I would eat anything from Italy.
Chat opinion on pineapple on pizza.
Gamer the MMM. At SI Nope.
At S, never gonna try that. Pineapple on pizza is a crime, it makes it soggy. But exercising suits.
Hi, Ailey's. Absolutely, it's a crime. At S don't care much for it, but preferably no. No more gym, just pizza. The result though. Try Indomie. My dad eats pineapple pizza. Indomie.
Good morning. You're so cute today, too. At SUGHHH. Pizza the world cries.
I have pineapple. I want pizza. Pineapple's so overrated. Oh,
I like pineapple, but not on pizza. What about kimchi, y'all?
Rickerian says Rickerian says I think the cows
Depends.
are escaping.
At Varu never tried.
Rickerian says
love
don't put the
kimchi.
wool.
Never tried. Sometimes kimchi tastes good and sometimes she.
Kimchi on fried rice is so good.
Kimchi good. At Levii, I don't think everyone likes it.
At Starboy, yep. At Starboy, real.
At Remy NGL. Depends on the kimchi TBH.
I want kimchi on pizza.
Yeah. What are you doing in Minecraft right now? I like radish kimchi. At Remiham. I can live without it though.
Remy, you wrong for that. All kimchi makes me jump.
Remy odd. Kimchi. I am hungry. Jagaimo ga hoshii. I want cereals RN.
Pizza.
But there's no milk.
Using coffee creamer for cereal. Use lemonade.
I hate potatoes.
Insane MJ.
Let's get down to business.
Do the milk.
My mom made mac and cheese. At Starboy. That's so sad. Can I tell
Eviolina
everyone
says
a
hating
joke?
potatoes is a crime.
The creamer out too. My dad just came back, maybe he brought some. At Remy, yeah. You just got some though. At Starboy jail time, no bail. I'd buy more. Ages ago. That was last week.
Hi Cavith
Remy,
fell from
what?
a high place. Rick Orion says bro.
Bro, it's gone in a day.
Hi.
MJ, say hi. Or 2. Bye 5x. Hi Varu.
Rick Orion says agree. Rick Orion says we are starving in the space. Rick Orion says I can't go out mining for diamond.
I want cereals. Who started this? Jagaibo.
Does anyone want to hear my joke about fruit?
At Remy, yes. Freddy Guerrero. MJ, say some Japanese to me. Aishiteru.
Hi Cavitham says he'll get it DW. Hi Cavitham says.
Ah. Cute.
Igdikach.
Dude.
What is that?
Oh boy. Remy. If I was your boyfriend. The chef from that movie. Yes, MJ. No. RAT chef. I am not a rat. TT censoring me.
Okay. Ratatouille. Never let you go. LMAO.
Ratatouille or some.
Love you.
Ratatouille. Tutu. Keep you on my arm, girl. I am not. Ratarata.
Ratu too.
Aishiteru. Ratsu. Raboshi.
Rick Orion says huh.
I am
Evie
not a
Alina says,
rat.
I am ready for war.
Not a rat.
Rick Orion says how. Hi Cavitham is sleeping in a bed. Bed is too far.
That's why you keep talking about food, Remy.
Evie Alina says help.
Ariana Grande. Remy is his actual name. Ratatouille was the name of the food he made. Justin Bieber. Fata. Pizza. Yes. Ed Sheeran.
Evie Alina says
Remy.
okay.
Pizza.
Evie Alina says a.
Taylor Swift. I want pizza. Bruno Mars.
Rick Orion
Yes.
says are you up? Evie
What is
Alina
that?
says me. Rick Orion says Imma make
Cheese.
Layla up. Evie Alina says
Cheese. Cupcake. I love cheese. GFA. Cupcakes.
I like
Hi
lemon
Cavithan says
cupcakes.
Ty.
And cheesecake cupcakes.
Rick Orion says sorry I didn't
I
know
eat
you.
cheese raw. Gotta walk the Damon. Not lemon.
Damon.
At Remy, I like key lime pie.
B-Day soon.
Raw cheese is just milk. Happy birthday, Damon. Tomorrow. Happy birthday.
Cassie too. You mean in 3 hours?
Who's Damon?
I hate milk. I love to eat cheese as it is.
Me.
Let's get down to business.
Oh.
I mean, it's already the 15th for you. My name is Julian. Yes.
Eviolina says I'm about to start sobbing aggressively. Rick Orion says
Say hi to me. Hi.
Hi, Baru.
Hi, Julian.
I'd see ya in a bit. Hello.
Who wants pizza?
At Maddie Hay. At Remy Me. Don't trip on a branch, Starboy. At Remy Me. Too bad I ate it all.
Eviolina says this is what I need in my life. Rick Orion says me too.
At
Rick
Remy
Orion says I don't play MC alone.
At Remy I eat mac and cheese.
Rick Orion says kill me BT.
Okay, goodbye, guys. Who took my crown?
Eviolina says it's more fun
Jeez.
together.
At Remy, bye.
Rick Orion says LMAO.
At LEVI, Remy.
Eviolina says hey boom.
I'm hungry.
Rick Orion says up. Eviolina says want me to get iron for everyone. Rick Orion says the cows. Rick Orion says look. Rick Orion says they're all out. Eviolina says like just armor. Eviolina says so we
MJ,
don't
am I
die.
handsome? I don't
Hi
know what
Cavithan
you
says
look
yes
like.
get iron. Hi Cavithan says I have a bit but not enough. Rick Orion.
If that is you in your PFP, then no. Levi LMAO.
No filter. LMAO. At MJ, I'm cute.
How cute.
At Levy, I know he's not. He's YouTuber.
Eviolina says I'll go mine for iron now.
OMB. My mom said I was ugly.
OMG.
Heard.
LMAO what? I'm your
Hi
fan.
Cavatham says I got a parrot now.
One with no filter. My mom called me a cow because I finished all the rice.
I'm your fan too.
At LEVIDAYMM. TF less than 3. I am her air conditioner than. I love you. I love you too. And I love MJ in chat. Love you all.
Less than 3. I want Castoris. I want an Axa. But she doesn't want me.
Hi Cavatham was slain by a zombie.
Real. I got no wishes.
Hi Cavatham says no. Eviolina says it will prob TP to you.
Chicken jockey.
Rickorion says
Broke gang. Chicken jockey.
Mirror.
It is damn. Dame.
Rickorion says I'm gonna mine for diamonds for pickaxe for portal. Eviolina says okay. Hi Cavatham says LM. Rickorion says kill me.
LMAO.
I want Castoris. I want Cypher. I want Hyacinth.
Rickorion says kill me.
Why are you live again?
Stop.
Hee.
Miritsu01 killed Rickorion. Rickorion said
I need to study. You're ruining my high school education. Don't study.
Eviolina says I found a spawner. Eviolina says got a golden apple.
Real.
Rickorion says wow. Eviolina says and a name tag. Rickorion says where spawner. Miritsu01
Do I
says
look
does
like I'm
anyone have
studying?
dirt? Rickorion says so we can farm the mob. Eviolina says gonna name my parrot Murik when we get
Yay,
Envil.
happy Alhaitham dancer.
Eviolina
That's evil
says
update.
I broke spawner.
MJ.
Eviolina says
Someone give me money to get Castoris. Hee. I'm gonna drink coffee.
Miritsu01 says I named 2 axolotls. Hi Cavatham says can we get MJ pregnant? Rickorion says WHAR.
Sure.
Miritsu01 says but I think the
Yes.
name disappeared some reason.
Wah.
Rickorion says what? Eviolina says Starboy can get MJ pregnant. Rickorion says wait at.
MJ babies.
Miritsu01 says depends.
MJ. NAHH.
Hi.
Love you, MJ. Is Starboy even here? Good night, gang. I am tired, TN, so I am off to bed. Tell Starboy I said Hakuna Matata. Mini MJ and Starboy. Love you, VARU. Nahi walking Damon. At LEVI, good night.
Rickorion
LMAO,
says
okay,
no.
I think I am scared.
Rickorion
At
says
LEVI, good night.
excuse me. Hi
At MJ
Cavatham says
Varu,
guys
MJ.
do we have weed? Rickorion says not yet.
Let's get married.
Rickorion says farm is slow.
Adhesive bandage.
Miritsu01 says I think someone did because the names disappeared. Sad face. Hi Cavatham says you need 2 wheat for 1 cookie.
I'm gonna
Rickorion
throw
says
up.
I'm doing my own thing I promise. Ryan says I'ma go mine now.
I ate a week's worth of snacks in one go.
YLMAO. Wow.
And I didn't even want to. My dream.
Bruh.
One of my friends once ate the whole ice cream truck and she's too skinny. At LCYLA, she's diva. At LCYLA, that could be me lol. Oh, I can join now.
Ades, is your name Paula?
Nah.
They weren't even good. I ate 2 packages of marshmallow.
Don't mind the change of name and PFPF. Who's Paula? Hi, Mimi. At Varu, my friend. Hi. BTWMJ Paula is the one who wanted to join.
Mimi?
Where?
Yay.
Oh. I didn't recognize you, LMAOO.
Hi Cavatham says food chest is
Mimi,
stacked
cute
now.
name.
Miritsu01. Set the time to 120-1000. Hi Cavatham says 24 cookies. Hi Cavatham says 2 stacks of
BC
watermelon.
Mimi is girly pop.
Hi Cavatham says and meat.
Yay.
Blah blah. Bobo baboob.
Hi Cavatham says I am a go get more food.
Question mark. OMG, it's you.
OMG Itto. You're on my FYP again.
Hi, Edo.
Aha!
Edo, hello. Hi.
Hello MJ, hi ZIR0.
It's a sign. Hello S, hello Varu.
At Itto, hi, proud.
Hi, Edo.
At SM, maybe I am just meant to be here. Hey.
Now you're stuck with his IG. Hello, CIR0. Welcome, Ito. Where's our broyato? Thank you, Varu. I lobe him.
My TikTok is gaslighting me into thinking I'm muted.
L. It sent me a notification saying my comment was removed, but the text-to-speech voice read it. TikTok just hates you. Oh. "2020 we Valhatham?"
What?
Miritsu. Hi,
But it's
Captain
okay, we
says,
don't
"Geez,
hate
I
you,
made
Zero
it so
Zero.
that only
We all
one
love you,
player
Zero
needs to
Zero."
sleep to
We all shout in unison.
Rick Orion says nice.
I'm gonna make a TikTok account for my laptop.
Yeah. I love Zero.
Miritsu01 says you're a father, MJ. Rick Orion says huh.
Yeah.
Eviolinovo says
Huh.
help. Rick Orion said
UWU.
Miritsu01 says no. Rick
I
Orion
love you guys too.
Miritsu01 says we don't have the space.
I love myself.
Rick Orion
So kawaii.
Miritsu01 says ID need to make a different pond for the axolotls for more children.
Self-love is nice.
Yeah.
Chunk still loading. You may encounter some mild performance issues. Miritsu01 says someone get me dirt. Miritsu01 left the game.
OMG, the water is delayed.
Rick Orion says I'm mining FR diamond. Eviolina.
Hello.
Rick Orion.
Konnichiwa. I'm muted again.
Is Starboy here? He was. No way. Less than 3.
But not anymore.
Does he know he's a mother?
At Maritsu, he knows.
Okay guys, I am back. My super manly arms got my ice cream and I am here to bless the chat again.
He's the mother?
Damn. At SIG? 4. Ito TikTok won't let me speak.
Edito shares them with us.
Let's get down to business.
So Starboy M.
Hi
Craig
Cavatham
is
says
real.
guys tell me if you find a village. Rick Orion says okay.
Why's the ahoge moving like that? I am sobbing. It is okay, take a bite, here comes the airplane.
It's windy.
It is me too.
At Ito yay.
It's an antenna, not ahoge. At Ito yippee. Yippee. At LCYLA exposed nerve ending. It's a loose nerve ending. AHO Yes. Gay. Big humor. Beans.
Let's get down to business.
Rick Orion says how long does the effect wear off?
Beans.
Rick Orion says I can't
Beans.
use any told. Rick Orion
I'm
says
sorry,
can't break
Beans
blocks.
is so funny for me for no reason. Do not start this again.
Hi
Beans.
Cavatham says press Z to check.
I hate beans.
Rick Orion
Beans for Ito. Beans.
Rick Orion says oh.
No.
Beans, 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 beans.
Keep that away?
Beans, 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 beans for our bro Ito. Too late. Beans, 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 beans.
No, not again. Why is it always when I am chatting?
I kinda hear spin when it says beans.
At Fizz, bias.
I am not you bro anymore after this.
Beans doesn't sound like a real word, send help.
At Ito Zoe.
Hi Cavatham says is CC just only jungle.
At Fizz, I wish beans weren't real. TikTok gaslit me
Rick
again.
Orion says guys PLS sleep. Rick Orion says Imidai. Rick Orion says so many mobs.
Archons.
Eviolinova was slain by a zombie. Eviolinova says IJTJHSP. Eviolinova says I found
Guys, do you think
diamond.
there's an archon of beans,
Yes.
beans, 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 beans?
Eviolinova says and died.
Cute.
Eviolinova
No.
says hija ha 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 ha. Eviolinova says
Maybe.
asterisk. Rick Orion says I really wanna go Oto Nether. Rick Orion says a woo. Eviolinova is
proud.
sleeping in a bed. To skip to dawn, 3 more users need to sleep in beds at the same time. Miritsu01 join the game. Rick Orion says
Hell
we
no.
need those. Eviolinovo is sleeping in a bed. To skip to dawn, 3 more users need to
Where's
sleep
Bro
in beds
Starboy?
at the same time. Rick Orion says I don't have. Miritsu01, set the time to 122-5000. Set the time to 5.
Touching grass.
Eviolina.
Less than 3.
Ugly guess. I miss Starboy. Mewing Alhaitham. Imagine touching grass.
We know.
Sigma. Ditto, your dogs are always touching grass.
Miritsu01 says what do you want to name your child MJ? High Cavatham was slain by spider. Rick Orion says Fook. Rick Orion says
WHO let the dogs out.
Rick Orion says Al Hatham.
Not Vro drowning. Less than 3.
High Cavatham says I got more food. Miritsu01 says would Starboy approve of that? Rick Orion.
Brew might like Alhaitham. Just a guess.
Bruce Alhaitham. I think your guess is wrong personally.
LMAO.
Miritsu01 says
Lower
how does
Al
nobody
Hatham.
have dirt? Rick Orion says Rick Orion. High Cavatham says
Guys, I
just
lost the
go
welcome
farm
giveaway.
dirt. Rick Orion says farm needed dirt. Rick Orion.
How do you manage TJ?
That.
Rick Orion says bro.
I joined a Welkin giveaway and didn't win. Took a group effort. Oh. All or nothing, I guess.
Eviolinovo says I refound the diamond.
Dead again.
Did you think it was something else?
LMAO.
Evil.
I tripped.
Rickorion says
Good job.
Eviolinovo says sorry, sad face. Rickorion says need 2 more for pickays.
Clumsy,
Rickorion says for
I'll hate
obsidian.
them.
Rickorion says
Verisa.
Eviolinovo says wait, then we have 3 total. Rickorion says I got 0. Eviolinovo says oh oops. Miritsu01 says 1 more then.
Grass.
Hi Kavatham says let's JS save the diamonds and find a lava lake. Rickorion says yes. Rickorion says I found lava. Rickorion says
Grass.
Hi Kavatham says no.
My Minecraft ain't working.
It has grass. Yes, grass.
Miritsu01 says I fixed your water.
Grass.
I'll hate them playing Minecraft. What century am I in again?
LMAO.
Miritsu01 died. Miritsu01 killed Miritsu01.
Let's get down to
says
business.
outside the house is a food chest. Eviolinovo says I'm gonna swim in lava. Rickorion. Eviolinovo tried to swim in lava. Hi Kavatham says you found lava?
My internet is crappy.
Hi Kavatham says why didn't you TP me? Rickorion says for what? Eviolinovo says time to smelt the stack and a half of iron I have. Rickorion says you want lava. Rickorion says oh. Miritsu01 says portal. Eviolinovo says why use so many cheats? Rickorion says that's cool
Any
actually.
of many low, green, non-woody plants belonging to the grass family, Poaceae, the sedge family,
Eviolinovo says
Cyperaceae,
want me to get
and the
bucket of
rush
lava.
family, Juncaceae.
At Tinari_Forest Watcher, shut the heck up, Tinari.
Hi Kavatham says we need at least 4 though.
It's a little early for me.
Eviolina says,
Let me get a
damn.
cup of coffee first.
Rickorion says 4 buckets/3. Miritsu01 says I have 3 buckets.
At Tinari_Forest Watcher, thank you for the info.
Eviolina says okay, I'm smelting the iron for armor for everyone. Hi Kavatham says I got a bucket. Miritsu. Hi Kavatham says I think I'm GNG. Hi Kavatham says MJ il TP to you. Rickorion says Hi Kavatham, teleported Hi Kavatham to Rickorion.
I'm sorry if the ability of forming sentences is offending to you. At Tinari_Forest Watcher WHATT. Damn. Hi, Joe. Go TIGHNARI.
Eviolina says where Anvil.
Where should I go?
Miritsu01 says base. Eviolina says okay Ty.
Out the live.
Hi
That's fair.
Kavatham says guys LMK when you see lava ahain.
No. Help. No beefing here.
Only love.
My sincere apologies. Sorry,
Eviolina
wasn't
says
trying
I
to
named
beef.
my parrot Muruk. Eviolina says let's go. Hi Kavatham says yay. Rickorion. Miritsu01 says was it not called Kiwi before?
That's what a liar
Eviolina
says, but
says
he'll let it
yes.
go because I am a nice guy and I am handsome.
Eviolina says but I
At
changed it.
Tinari_Forest Watcher BC, you're more of a mushroom person?
Eviolina says Kiwi can be its nickname.
Help.
Eviolina says imagine Kava calling Muruk Kiwi LOL. Rickorion. Hi Kavatham says ah.
00, please don't. That was a good one.
I'll occasionally go to the
Hi.
tavern for a drink after work.
Hi.
Hi Kavath.
Hello. Hi.
Set the time to 5.
Hi.
Uriah Thesley PFP, I drew him today. His certain assets didn't fit in the paper though.
Rick Orion says OMG no mines.
LMAOO.
Cake.
Cake him.
But the cake is a lie. Cake sounds really good right now. I should make some. The pizza is aggressive. Would you guys trust me in the kitchen to make dinner for you all?
Hi,
Yes.
Hi Cavatham says we actually need 10 lava buckets.
Maybe. Thank you,
Maybe
MJ,
Elena.
you're the best. I want a panini so bad. Ito you cook but.
Hi Cavatham says you can't make infinite lava. Rick Orion says Hi Cavatham says so we need
And
a
I
lava
serve a
lake
grand
at best.
feast. Yeah, good one. Your cooking skills compete with a certain archons.
Nahida Shirley.
Yeah. Yeah, rum. Farina. Four.
I disagree.
Hey. Don't you dare. I can cook. I made a poem for you. It's called
Let me hear it. Ito, my man, but not my name. Go on. Okay, gimme a sec. Bro did not
Rick Orion says
pre-rehearse
I'm
this.
just gonna dig straight. Eviolina says I forced the cows to breed. Rick Orion says Ayo. Eviolina says Hashasks. Hi Cavatham says help. Hi Cavatham says I found a glitched pillager outpost. Rick Orion says y'all got books or some. Eviolina says NOP. Rick Orion says silk
More
touch
watermelon.
pickaxe for B.
Welcome back.
Star Bobby Oi. OMG Starboy. M Jungle.
Hi.
Unskibbity.
I'm muted. I can't tell you the poem. Only 14 watermelon. I'm muted.
I got potato.
Oh. I can't tell you the poem. Potato not good.
I'm muted.
I can't tell you the poem.
Potato fire.
We know.
Are you okay?
F potato. No. Mashed potato. Citrullus lanatus. It is a member of the Cucurbitaceae family. Life. Embryophyta. Plants. Angiospermi. Flowering plants. Order. Cucurbitales. French fries.
Hi Cavatham says I
Early
just need 2
furry.
obsidian to fancy inside.
Respect potato.
Potatoes greater than greater than greater than greater than.
Miritsu01 says wait.
I like fries.
Rick Orion
At
says
Tinari _ forest watcher nerd emoji, in the kindest way.
What?
Miritsu01 says I have 3.
Fries with cheese sauce.
Miritsu01 teleported Miritsu01 to Rick Orion. Rick Orion says
I
hat.
called me a furry, so it's fine. McDonald's fries. Fries potato.
Miritsu01 says wrong person.
Solanum tuberosum belongs to the
Miritsu01
Solanaceae
teleported
family of flowering
Miritsu01 to Hi
plants.
Cavatham.
It originated and was first domesticated in the Anda Mountains of South America.
At Starboyong.
Say goodbye, everyone.
But better. Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Miritsu01
Goodbye. Bye.
Bye.
Miritsu01 tried
Only
to
one of
swim
you said
in
bye.
lava.
Bye. Oh, thanks for being so kind, everyone.
Bye-bye. Ill maybe return. Remember the one and onus legacy. We'll remember you. We'll remember you, King. Yeah.
Rick Orion says FUK. Rickorion says mobs. Eviolina says valid crash out.
Algorithm tweaking. Who? He.
Rickorion says OMG. Rickorion says so close. Eviolina says I can see or crash out on stream lol. Rickorion says lmua.
Hello Mochi. At Starboy hi
Eviolina says
Starboy.
anyway I have an iron armor set for everyone.
When did the stream start? Today.
Rickorion says I feel like I will just ruin the art.
1 hour 28 minutes.
Hi.
Hi Cavitham says MJ I got a
Already?
nether portal. Rickorion says what?
Crazy bro.
Miritsu01 says thank you. You have been teleported to High Cavitham. Teleported Rickorion to High Cavitham.
I'm going to bed soon. Good
Rickorion
night.
says
Yeah, bro.
At Mion bye.
Oyasumi Mayan.
Eviolina says he'll wait till y'all get back to give the
Good
armor.
night.
Rickorion
At
says
Mion night.
Rickorion says can we mark this? High Cavitham was slain by
Reference muted.
zombified piglin. Rickorion says how do we get back here?
Bye.
High
Oyasumi
Cavitham.
bro.
Teleported High Cavitham to Rickorion. High Cavitham says let me mark chords. Rickorion says yay.
Bye, thank you, Oyasumi. TP to me. Coffee. Boss. Chug it. At MJ Yum Coffee. Boss. RN.
Okay. I gotta go, it's almost my gooning hour.
Why?
Help.
0 gooning hours. TikTok. Did you actually just chug? Oh, good gooning. TikTok, why?
Insane dedication, bae. Yes.
MJ, can you edit the server so it shows chords? It's done now. How bro?
Like Miritsu01.
That's
Set the
kinda.
time to 25,000. Rick Orion says how.
I don't think we can turn on chords.
I've been looking everywhere in settings. I'm staying just because TikTok is being a bitch.
Hi Cabot.
I can see it, but it can't toggle on. At Paimon greater than, Evie Elena, what happened to you?
Who's you?
At Starboy, what do you mean?
Al Haytham.
I look beautiful. No, that's a lie. Boo.
Thank Plubba for the PFP.
You changed Paimon.
FR.
Hi Cabot said.
Plubba mentioned.
Nahibi.
At Paimon greater than,
Rick Orion says I'm Luing RN
Evie Elena, help, I didn't notice it at first.
At Moku
Rick Orion
Yu
says there's no toggle there for Coords either.
That a
Hi Cabot
cockroach.
says no.
Plubba
Rick
is
Orion
amazing.
says can you two leave RQ? Rick Orion says let me try to toggle alone. Unknown
At
command.
Starboy, it's a bumblebee.
Help to. Please check that the command exists and that you have permission to use it. Dash showing help page 2 of 35. Slash help
No
page.
fox.
Dash.
Nah.
Slash camera players.
Kilo, it's a
Target fade color red. Int green. Int blue. Int.
That a cockroach dude.
Slash camera players. Target fade time fade in seconds. Float hold seconds. Float fade out seconds. Float. Slash camera players. Target fade time fade in seconds. Float hold seconds. Float fade out seconds. Float color red. Int green. Int blue. Int. Slash camera players. Target remove underscore target. Slash camera players. Target set preset. String default. Default. Slash camera players. Target set preset. String ease time. Float ease type. Easing default. Default. Slash camera players. Target set preset. String ease time. Float ease type. Easing facing look at entity. Target. Tip. Use the tab key while typing a command to auto-complete the command or its arguments. Dash showing help page 3 of 35. Slash help page. Dash. Slash camera players. Target set preset. String ease time. Float ease type. Easing facing look at position. XYZ. Slash camera players. Target set preset. String ease time. Float ease type. Easing POS position. XYZ. Slash camera players.
The TT is
Target
gonna
set
never
preset.
end.
String ease time. Float ease type. Easing POS position. XYZ facing look at
Asterisk
entity.
TTS.
Slash camera players. Target set preset. String ease time. Float ease type.
LMAO.
Easing POS position. XYZ facing look at position. XYZ. Slash camera players. Target set preset. String ease time. Float ease type. Easing POS position. XYZ rot X rot. Value
It's
Y rot.
broken.
Value. Slash camera players.
OMG.
Target set preset. String ease time. Float ease type. Easing rot X rot. Value Y rot. Value.
Okay, Starboy,
Slash
less than
camera
3.
players. Target
I
set
am tackling
preset.
the TTS.
String entity underscore offset X entity offset. Float Y entity offset. Float Z entity offset. Float. Rickerion. Eviolina
No.
says ha 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 hoi share asterisk. Rickerion says oh finally, hi Kavatham, game rule show coordinates has
OMG,
been
it stopped.
updated to false. Eviolina says what? Eviolina says Hi Kavatham went up in flames.
MJ, don't die in the Nether. Hee hee. Loading takes a while, damn.
You're gonna spawn at some crazy location with how long it's taking.
Is it stuck? I am muted. I do know.
Rickerion
OMG,
says
finally.
yeah. Rickerion says I am HRE. Rickerion says IT finally L. Oded. Rickerion says I see. Eviolina says LOL. Rickerion says my fave. Rickerion says glowstone. Hi Kavatham. Teleported Hi Kavatham to 673.50, 65.00, 1565.50. Eviolina says grab some if possible.
Hello, my stomachache has gone away.
Hello, hero. Look, a leg LMAO.
Konnichiwa.
At Hero HII.
Rickerion says lag is crazy. Hi Kavatham says oh. Hi Kavatham says tie for the armor. Eviolina says NP. Rickerion says what's crimson fungus?
Red is a nice color. At Moku, you hello.
Love red.
I wanna watch from my PC,
Hi
but it
Kavatham
keeps
says I am in the
glitching.
Nether too. Hi Kavatham says for me it loaded
Oh, I just
quick.
realized there's blue and red in my PFP.
Eviolina says a pretty
like
mushroom. Rickerion
Pretty
says what the
red.
Nether is so pretty.
MJ likes red.
Pretty red like pretty red fox.
Ah,
Yes. Less than 3.
Pretty red fox like pretty
Rick
Fennec
Orion
fox.
says brothers.
I wonder if they'll ever add another realms besides Overworld, Nether, and End.
Pretty Fennec fox like Tainari.
Tighnari mentioned.
I like
Rick Orion
green.
says Nether wasn't like this when I played. Rick Orion said
Green. Midori.
Midori.
Green like Tainari. Midori.
hi.
I like purple.
Eviolina says it was so painful to look at. Hi
And
Cav.
red. Midori.
Rick Orion says yeah.
I like pink.
Hi Cavith
I like
says
MJ.
Ox remember zombie pigman. Rick Orion says dub.
I like Starboy.
Eviolina says remember when no colored beds.
It has
Rick
purple,
Orion
like
says
Kali's
yeah.
hairpin, like Kali's mentor.
Rick Orion says remember when no infinite worlds. Hi Cavith says I'm NPT that og. Rick Orion says
Yes.
WTF.
MJ, that's exactly me
Hi
whenever I
Cavith
come back
says
like
I
gang with
started
Netherite.
2015.
Yeah, bro, WTF. How does one make it?
Eviolina says yes Nether has trees now.
Six years, bro.
No, Mick.
Hi Cavith says when have you last played my.
Oh yeah, it also has like trading
Rick
pigments and
Orion
bastions
says
or
6
whatever.
years ago. Eviolina says.
Pink like the flower behind Tainari's back?
Rick Orion says 2019. Hi
LeBron less
Cavith
than
says
3.
the new Nether came 2018 though no. Eviolina says that's a big gap bro.
Trading piglins? Hello? At Starboy LeBron, like the baller, like Tainari who has balls, flower balls.
What?
Rick Orion says why the piggy's attacking me.
No.
Rick Orion says I deoyed her.
Help. At
Eviolina says
MJLMAO
which
lots of
ones?
new stuff. LeBron.
Eviolina says the big
It's
ugly
Starboy O.
ones.
Trading piglins? Trading,
Eviolina
like they
says
do in
those.
Sumeru? Like Tainari who lives in Sumeru.
Eviolina says you have to wear gold. Eviolina says
One of you must have punched one.
Rick Orion says
Chloe,
WTF.
I can't pin you.
Hi Cavith says now they
I'll
only
hate them
like
balls.
UW gold.
Heck.
Rick Orion says what's
True, at this
Shrome
point, go wife him up.
Rick Orion says fucking gold diggers. Eviolina says Shroom Light pretty block. Hi Cavith says Shroom Light is pretty lights.
Run, MJ. Me either.
Hi Cavith says I am a go back and get gold.
At Moku, you punch, like Haizu, who's a middle height male.
Rick Orion
like
says
Tainari, who's
LOL.
also a middle height. I love glowstone.
Eviolina says can you turn towards on permanently?
Tinari, like Al Haytham's friend, comes.
Eviolina says, how did you
And
do it,
MJ says
LMAO?
amazing. At LCYLATIGHNARI? I don't trust anyone who doesn't like it.
Rick Orion says, I'm lag.
LMAO. At LCYLA so real.
Rick Orion says, WTF. Rick Orion says, is this ugly fish? Hi Kavatham. Killed Hi Kavatham.
At LCYLA help.
Hi Kavatham. Killed Hi Kavatham. Eviolina Vu. Rick Orion. Miritsu
You
01.
can put saddles on
Eviolina
M.
says. Hi Kavatham says no.
Watermelon.
Rick Orion says Ujo killed me. Hi Kavatham says that was on accident. Rick Orion says
And
slash
through
3.
OVA.
Rick Orion says adhesive bandage.
At Moku use saddles, like riding, like what will do the dinery tonight.
Odd.
Ayo.
Hi Kavatham says the lag. Eviolina Vu says BTWMJ the ugly fish turns blue when not on lava. It's cool. Eviolina Vu says they change color. Rick Orion says can I take it home? Miritsu 01. Set the time to 49,000. Rick Orion says PLKS bring me back to portal. Eviolina Vu says I think you can ride it? Eviolina Vu says with saddle. Hi Kavatham says I
You can.
Okay bro, less than 3.
Ride.
Eviolina Vu says and something like warp fungus on stick. Eviolina Vu says you can control it. You have been teleported to 673.50, 65.00, 1565.50.
The
Hi
mushrooms.
Kavatham. Teleported Rick Orion to 673.50, 65.00, 1565.50. Hi Kavatham says you gotta wait for it to load.
At Moku U mushrooms.
Rick Orion says can't open
Mushrooms?
chests.
Like.
Rick Orion says am I spectator? Eviolina Vu says the lag is insane.
Yeah.
Hi
LMAO.
Rick Orion says wow.
More melon.
Miritsu.
At Moku UOML.
Hi
By
Kavatham.
Lord I mean
Killed Hi
Tinari.
Kavatham.
Said no lemon in Mick.
Lemon ice. Lemon.
Lemon?
LeBron. Nah. Lemon hum. I'm re-downloading Sims. What should I add? I'ma go to sleep night, guys. Add me. Sorry, I mean The Sims. Night Mochi. Good night, Moku Lesson 3. Oh my god, Sims. I love Psalms. At Moku Unite. Playing Sims RN. Good night. Good night. It is cool. at SLUCKYYY.
Mine's broke 'cause my friend cursed me.
Miritsu01 says nah. Miritsu01 says. Rickorion says I'm Fizzu. Murik was slain by Eviolinavu.
What
Rickorion
else
says
should I
Dizzy.
add?
Eviolinavu says no. Rickorion says Murik. Miritsu01 says Mirhook. Eviolinavu says Murik.
Brew, I had
Eviolinavu
all of
says
Sumeru on
TWF.
there.
Eviolinavu says I was Phi GHTNG. Eviolinavu says you
What the
are
fuck?
joking. Hi Kavatham says no Murke. Eviolinavu says Mirhook.
Literally.
Miritsu01 says
Hatham
Hi
flew away.
Kavatham says Mursk K-Muruk. Eviolinavu says my. Miritsu01 says I have a green bird we can replace Mirhook.
Help!
Hi Kavatham says BTWMJ I found something earlier. Eviolinavu says it's not the same. Hi Kavatham, teleported Hi Kavatham to Rickorion. Eviolinavu says my.
Bust a move
Eviolinavu
out
says
here.
Piru.
Al Hatham hit the gritty.
Rickorion says wait.
Al Hatham hit P. Diddy. Hit the boogie.
Miritsu01
Baby
says
oil.
reason.
I need a moment.
I got attached.
Rickorion says got what?
Oil up. Woke up in the morning feeling like this city.
Rickorion says Rickorion says
At Starboy,
Rickorion
yes,
says Allium.
please.
Rickorion
Oil
says
up.
thank you. Hi Kavatham says 3. Rickorion says moi.
Oiled stream when.
Help. I didn't drink no coffee today. Tainari canonically oils up daily.
Paimon come back.
'Cause no creamer.
Eviol.
No crimmer.
Yes.
Bye bye y'all.
What?
Give
Eviolinavu
me
says
creamer.
nobody talk to me.
Bye.
Rickorion says LMAOO brew. Eviolinavu says I'm making a grave. Rickorion says it was an accident.
Grimmer.
Eviolinavu says what have I done?
Creamer.
Eviolinavu says I killed Murra.
Mama, I'm in love with a
Eviolinavu says my
creamer.
child.
Cream.
Crim.
Evi.
Cream haha.
Hi cat.
Huh.
Haha. Crim.
Rickorion says Hi Kavatham says fortress right at portal. Rickorion says nice. Rickorion says how do I go BAC? Hi Cavatum says cords are on MJ Shrine. Rick Orion says thanks.
Cream?
You have been
Like, what's
teleported to
Tainari gonna make me tonight?
673.50, 65.00, 1565.50.
By the way, is Tainari here or did he go?
I thought the name was
Hi, Cavatham says
Picarian the
Al-Haytham
whole
makes me-
time.
P.
Pee-pee.
Pippi C.
Pippi C mentioned. Oh my. Screenshot.
Licks.
OMG.
SS. OMG. That was so nice.
ALHJITHJAMNGH.
Al-Haytham edging us. What's going on here?
Hey.
Hi Cavatham
Tuning.
says
RN.
MJ, are you trying to make me switch sides?
NGH.
Yes.
Who said that?
Nether loading screen takes too long.
Gotta keep you entertained.
At MJ Father FR. I am on the MJ side.
Make a
Rick
crafting
Orion
bench.
says I want the ugly fish.
PLS.
Rick Orion says oh
Keep
sorry.
entertaining.
Rick Orion says
Do
no
it
I don't
again,
have.
I missed it.
Hi Cap.
OMG.
Rick
Oh.
Orion says yeah.
Oh,
Al-Haytham.
nice.
Bricked.
Real.
Rick Orion says I have wood.
I'm ready for Al-Haytham NGH.
Hi POOKII.
HII. Tragic. HRU Al-Haytham.
TIKOTK, let me speak.
Hi Cavatham says can you give me 4 wood then? Rick Orion says where are you? Rick Orion
Alhaitham deck glow.
Green. Deck reveal.
Dendro DIH. It's true, I know.
High Cavitham fell
Spread.
from a high place.
Bloom.
I see it, RN. Canon, I saw OT.
Canon I aided. It's before me.
High Cavitham says finally got gold boots.
Glowing deck.
High Cavitham teleported High Cavitham to Rick Orion. High Cavitham fell from a high place.
Make Alhaitham
Rick Orion
DIH
says, "Oh my
mainstream
God."
again.
High Cav. Rick Orion says brew.
Alhaitham M preg FT me.
High Cavitham teleported High Cavitham to Rick Orion.
BTW Starboy. Yes. Beerth.
Earlier.
You.
About that. LMAO.
What?
TT Sned.
You.
Miritsu 01 fell from a high place.
Hi, Rangers.
Eviolina Vuset.
Birth. Earlier.
You.
What? You're a mother.
Rick Orion says wait.
I birthed. Who?
Starboy M. Preg.
Timar. Wait.
Rick Orion says my INV full.
Dang.
High Cap.
Who did I birth?
Miritsu
WTH
01
Tinari.
Rick Orion.
Our offspring.
Eviolina Vu says the rain really sets the depressing mood.
Whoa.
High Cavitham says he'll get you some gold armor too. High Cavitham says for the piglins. Rick Orion says thank you. Rick Orion says he'll get cords for.
Strap.
Sue. This low-key tough.
Miritsu 01.
How are you guys gonna name it?
Teleported Miritsu 01 to Rick Orion.
The name is Alhaitham.
He'll show you later.
Miritsu 01 said. Rick Orion says wow.
Alhaitham Jr.
Rick Orion says I'm cackling. Miritsu 01 says you saw nothing. Rick Orion says I'm
I
sorry
am
for killing.
intrigued a little.
LMAOO.
Miritsu 01 teleported Miritsu 01 to Rick Orion. Miritsu01 fell from a high
Show
place.
me later. Alright.
Rick Orion says,
I
wow.
am mourning. The OFD Spring 2.
Off.
Hi Cavatham says I hate piglin brutes. Miritsu01 says I don't like the Nether. Miritsu01 teleported Miritsu01 to Rick Orion. Hi Cavatham says why did they add them in the last update?
Coffeeless.
Rick Orion says block.
Sigh.
Hi Cavatham teleported Hi Cavatham to Rick Orion. Miritsu01 says I fell again. Miritsu01 Hi Cavatham says he'll go get some pretty decor guys. Rick Orion says is this for pickaxe?
Boss.
No crim.
Miritsu01 teleported Miritsu01 to Rick Orion. Rick Orion says sand?
No crim.
Can you
Miritsu01
help
says
with
they
that?
want me dead. Hi Cavatham says yes. Rick Orion says Nether wart block sand? Hi Cavatham says
I can't escape mute jail.
Al cream thumb. Al cream thumb.
All the dumb. Miritsu.
Freaky hate them.
Hi Cavatham says well a diamond shovel but still. Rick Orion says what?
I'll freak them.
Rick Orion says but that's nice.
Gooning activated.
What?
I was just thinking about this.
Hi Cavatham says there's a ton of bastions here. Hi Cavatham says I think it glitched. Rick
got
Orion says
flashed.
what's that?
I'll think about his fray okay. Not my wheel. Must have been the mushrooms. Must have been the wind.
Hi Cavatham says bastions are places where the piglins store their stuff. Hi Cavatham says it has tons of good gear.
Like that one song.
Strong back shot wind.
Hi Cavatham says be
I'll hit them
careful
back
though.
shots.
You will receive.
Miritsu01 was slain by Piglin Brute.
MJ in the chair. Drama.
On everyone's soul.
Okay. Huh.
You in the chair.
I'm checking why I can't type.
We can take turns, bro.
You feel
Rick
MW.
Ryan says Starboy our son.
Me. We could go guide for guide.
Miritsu01 says I'm gonna be haunted by the ghost of Merhook. Rick Ryan says LM. Rick Ryan says I'ma make my own tiny shed.
Yes. Do it now.
Bet.
I said now.
Nah, you ain't using us for
Hi, Cavatham says oops.
hours.
Hi Cavatham says for some reason I... Eviolina.
You're making me skip going hour.
It's always time to goon.
Make up for it.
Skip goon hour. Like a champ. I guess maybe Goonine was the friends we made along the way. Yes.
Rick Ryan says it's Muruk.
I'll flash them. Let's go into friends we made a long way.
says stop. Eviolina, you have been teleported to 673.50, 65.00, 1565.50. Teleported Rick Ryan to 673.50, 65.00, 1565.50. Eviolina says Minecraft sucks. Wink with a frown. Eviolina says I even got a name and tag for it.
It gotta be.
Eviolina.
He's stripping. It's milk less than 3.
Check. FYM milk. Milk candy.
Milk candy?
What?
Milk candy is crazy. I'll hate the milk.
Oh, thank God TikTok muted they.
I'll milk them. It's good.
Rick Ryan says bro. Rick Ryan says I'm
Hey,
stuck
Gordon.
in air.
I'll eat anything Hatham gives me.
Rick Rickaryan says
Give me some.
Opening wide.
Bruh. Catch.
Miritsu01. Set the time to 73,000.
NGH.
You have been teleported to Hycavatham.
Thanks.
Hycavatham. Teleported Rickaryan to Hycavatham. Rickaryan says Woa.
Guys, I'm
Rickaryan
getting the
says
phone to
thank
probably
you.
act like decent human beings.
Rickaryan says, love. Hycavatham says NPPP.
Catch these.
Hycavatham says,
Nuts.
Decent human being lol. I'll hate them nuts.
Where did they find them?
TD's net.
Nut.
Hycavatham says, Rickaryan says okay bro.
Minutsu.
Rickaryan says I'm. Hycavatham tried to swim in lava.
My uncle. You're mid. Uncle.
How dare you?
Ouch. Minutsu my goat.
Hycavatham says anyone wants soul speed 1 gold boots.
Me goatsu.
Myungsu.
Hycavatham
Same
says
Ninjago.
anyone else?
Mid.
I lied about that BTW.
Ninjago mentioned.
Sigh.
How could you? You changing answers cause I don't FW him, huh?
Classic Minutsu. No, I just wanted to lie.
Hycavatham says if anyone needs gold armor though LMK. Hycavatham says for
Cole
the Nether.
and Kai on top. Fear it.
They're basic.
You basic. Nerd.
Know you. Minard Sue.
If you comment, you sue DIH.
I'm not a nerd.
Huh.
Hycavatham. Teleported Hycavatham to 673.50, 65.00, 1500,
Well. I love nerds. You didn't.
My name is Nerd now.
Nerds. Nah.
HLO.
Glasses and reading and she.
TTHE game is so glitchy.
Same MJ, that's why I love Alhatham.
Saying that after calling me one.
Oop.
You feel me.
LMAO.
At Maritsu, wait, you right.
Yay.
Shucks.
At Maritsu Father LMAO. In Tainari and Sino and Kabe.
Why I love Sumeru.
Anything for the huzz, bro.
At MJ Sami.
I am Loki Sumeru.
Ahem. Me wow.
I love you, Starboy. I am.
Wait guys, I got a pee-pee po.
Came a little.
DJ.
Daisuke MJ. Pippi C. All less than 3.
Pippi C.
Bilingual king.
PP like Titan Eris Pippi C.
Right here.
Right now. LMAO.
Crazy.
Real.
Zero what? That's my dad.
Okay, I'm done pee-pee-poing. Play Mick if you want me.
Pippi C. Oh, what a coincidence.
At Tainari _ Forest Watcher, your dad fine.
No.
LMAO. Crazy work.
Hi Kabatham says my dad Jen looks like Steve.
Let it crust.
For extra aura.
What? At Tinari _ Forest Watcher TBH, all 4 of your dads are
Hi
fine.
Cavitham says
The new meta.
No.
Oh, why are you shaking?
Someone under the table. Kenny mentioned. Starboy under the table. Exactly.
Putting on my best show.
Hi Cavitham says my
Under there.
Hi Cavitham tried to swim in lava.
And Starboy not good enough apparently.
LMAO. Try harder. We'll get there. MJ not tweaking enough. Harder, you say?
Hi Cavitham. Teleported Hi Cavitham to 673.50, 65.00,
What?
1565.50.
Whoa. Why did it fell?
Miritsu01 says oh hi. Ricker
Huh. Helicopter, helicopter. Good job, Starboy.
Helicopter. I'm gonna give the phone back to my dad before I need therapy again.
Good what?
Itinerary _ Force Watcher, good call.
It's Starboy, good boy.
You have been teleported to Hi Cavitham. Teleported
Rihanna.
Rick Orion to Hi Cavitham.
Not you, bro.
I don't want to hear Alad.
LMAO. Sigh. Ik liebster Ninja. Should I EDH the stream or play Sims? Ik lieb Michael Jackson. Hee hee. The short form.
Annie is okay.
What? OMG.
Thanks for the treat.
Flashed.
Was that?
Why can't I comment?
Hi
Rough
Cavitham
flash
says my
death.
game keeps glitching and I fall in lava. Rick Orion says Rick Orion said Hi Cavitham went up in flames.
You should do that with different pictures.
Hi Cavitham says yeah.
It would be even funnier.
HYV should put that in game.
Paygorn, please.
I'll flash them.
Hi Cavitham. Teleported Hi Cavitham to Rick Orion.
I'm going, but I'll probably be back in seconds.
Let's get down to business.
One last flashy?
Hi Cavatham says,
Whoa,
Hi Cavatham fell from a high place.
what? Imagine the PPL just joining.
Help! Need the artist. You mean Shiletsky? Artist is Mr. Magnolia.
Kenny.
What a name. X?
IDK, it's Google. MJ, you got a diamond.
Yes. I think.
Oh no. Sigh.
Let's get
No, I
down to
don't.
business.
BRB y'all. LMAO.
Hi Cavatham.
Seuss.
Teleported Hi Cavatham to Rick Orion.
Bro gonna go.
Rick Orion says bro. Rick Orion says you keep. Hi Cavatham says if you give an ally a diamond it will give you more. Rick Orion says I don't have a. Miritsu01 says dead ass. Mirit, you have been teleported to Evialinavua. Teleported Rick Orion to Evialinavua. Hi Cavatham says yep. Hi Cavatham says it will start looking for some. Mirit. Miritsu01 says 1.
Okay, I am
Hi
embarrassed
Cavatham
by.
says I'll.
Why?
LMAO. Well, bye.
Hi Cavatham says. Hi Cavatham says come quick. Rick Orion says huh. Rick Orion says who. Miritsu01 says who. Rick Orion says I'm in base. Hi Cavatham says with a diamond. Rick Orion says I don't HAB. Miritsu01 says my chest. Mirit. Evialinova says I'll pause my morning hour to come. Hi Cavatham says TP to me. Rick Orion says okay.
Come.
You have been teleported to Hi Cavatham.
Yes.
Evialinova. Teleported Evialinova to Hi Cavatham. Evialinova says my diamond. Rick Orion says here is Miras to die.
Nice.
Rick Orion says don't work.
Typing with a spoon BTW.
Rick Orion says here. Hi Cavatham says NOOO. Evialinova says I think. Rick Orion says bruh unlimited watermelon. Eviolinovo says yes. Hi cat. Hi Kavatham says now he will lead us to diamonds. Miritsu01 says I expect interest on. Rick Orion says I as not.
Hey IG.
HI.
Here you go.
Hey.
Thank you.
Well, thanks.
Hi Kavatham says it's so slow though. Rick Orion says give US di. Hi Kavatham says.
YW.
Miritsu01
Dot adhesive
set the time to
bandage.
97,000. Rick Orion says Rick Orion says I'm gonna go to base. Miritsu01 said Eviolinovo teleported Eviolinovo to Miritsu01.
Here you
Rick
go.
Orion says
Cat.
Cat.
Eviolinovo teleported Eviolinovo to Rick Orion. Hi Kavatham says. Rick Orion says thank you. Rick Orion is clapping. Eviolinovo says I'm going to go to bed now. Rick Orion says Eviolinovo says gonna dream about Muruk. Eviolinovo says sniff. Rick Orion says slash. Eviolinovo says bye everyone, and bye chat. Eviolinovo left the game.
BYYY Eva.
It's so early. Bye bye Paimon less than 3. Less than 3.
Good night, Paimon.
Bye bye Paimon.
Hi Kavatham says hey so the Allay isn't dying what do we do? Miritsu01 says kidnap.
At Maritsu, I thought
Rick
you
Orion
said
says lock
gooning
it.
beans.
Hi Kavatham says MJ bring me a leash. Miritsu01 says force it to clone diamonds. You have been teleported to High Kavatham. Teleported Rick Orion to High Kavatham. Rick Orion. Rick Orion says kill me. High Kavatham says now we somehow gotta get back though. Miritsu01 says walk. Rick Orion says kill me. Miritsu01 killed Rick Orion. Rick Orion says LMAOO. Rick Orion says twice. Hi Cat. Rick Orion says Miritsu01 says turn cords back on. Hi Rick Orion. Hi
X ain't
Kavatham.
that bad
Game
after
rule
all.
show coordinates has been updated to true.
ICL.
It's got a lot of stuff.
Miritsu01 says I'm NEG minus 940. Rick Orion says I'm. Rick Orion says
A lot of stuff. Hey.
Rick Orion says 240.
Don't leave them.
Hi
Yes. I'll hate them stuff.
What a time to be alive.
Miritsu01 killed Miritsu01.
I'll hate them tough. I'll hate them DIH. Dick.
Rick Orion said
Deck. With balls. Leo.
Happy trail. Alhatham Happy Trail.
NGH. Typo.
My fingers hurt.
Wow. BRB.
Okay, bro. Gooning again.
Rick Orion says no surprise. Miritsu01 says I planted some. Rick Orion says not growing. Hi Kavatham says I got a dog. Miritsu01 says I just placed them. Rick Orion says oh. Rick Orion says
Had to congratulate Cassie and Damon.
I was just gonna say, but you were gone. It's April 15th there now. Oh. Yes.
Happy birthday to Damon and Cassie. Yay, happy birthday. You'll tell him. The cuties.
Good.
Hi Kavath. Set the time to 121,000. Rick Orion says I believe, D here. Rick Orion says I don't have a spruce. Rick Orion says house. Rick Orion says tiny. Rick Orion says cute. Rick Orion says trust. Miritsu01 says why on water. Rick Orion says I like water.
Cassie's
Miritsu01
Jolly AFRN.
Purring like crazy.
Rick Orion says I need it LMAOO. Rick Orion says there's some on chest I think.
She's happy. She knows it's her B-day.
Gooning complete. What did I miss?
Wow. That was fast.
Hi Cavatham says
At
I'm
MJ
almost
I
back.
had to make it fast.
Hi Cavatham says just 200 blocks more. Rickorion says LMAOOO.
So I got Tinari. Insane. Al-Ha'itam Minecraft player. Yes.
Damon fell back asleep. Lol.
EPA. It's midnight.
Yes.
Tired baby.
Less than 3.
Hi Cavatham says I am back. Rickorion
Less than
says
3.
dang. Rickorion says that took so long LMAOO.
Mr. Teacup says hello.
My Al-Haitham obsession is older than bro. Hello, Mr. TD. FR Starboy. Hello, Mr. Pippi C.
MJ, I'm getting EP, but I need to study. Hello, guys. Nah. No joke, actually.
Hi.
Miritsu01 left the game.
Mr. Teacup has been silly on Fortnite murder mystery. That's great, honey. Toji Papa. Did you do the muter? To be mentioned.
And Starboy Yesh.
Hi Cavatham
Gooning.
says
Mr. Teacup did murders and goonings.
Three.
Amazing Mr. Pippi C. Mr. Boss Coffee.
Rickorion says
Phantom tax.
WA. Rickorion says yes. Rickorion says
Boss.
Hi Cavatham says he can keep the diamond, it's okay, love. Rickorion says yeah he's cute. Rickorion says it's not mine.
Papa Toji. Who else loves mojito?
What are you building?
Hi Cavatham says
I do. House. Red house. At Starboy, Mr. Teacup gives you his respect. OFC.
Hear me out on the Hito. Hey, sillies.
At Starboy Ow.
I found a certain video of Al Haytham with multiple men. I like Mr. Pippi Cup.
I probably know that.
Guys, it's my birthday. And he's sitting on the couch and they're all wearing white. What?
Why you copying?
3 bidets.
Help.
Happy birthday.
0, I am intrigued.
3 bidets.
Let's get down to business.
Ty.
Happy meow day.
Hi. Hi, guys.
At Starboy, keep dreaming. I'm keeping this one for myself. YAAMEOWDAY.
HII guys.
It's also one of my friends' B-Day. At Z, hey, silly Billy.
I need to poop BRB.
Imagine liking boring Nobara or Nanami over mojitos. WTF, so many B-Day.
Why is everyone's birthday today?
It's 1 month after my sister's birthday.
Mr. Teacup valid.
Normalize not judging people pooping.
At Starboy.
At LCYLANO.
Seriously, I'm not playing.
Link. At Starboy, I'm not either.
The vid or whatever.
Zero. At Starboy Search, never gonna give you up on YouTube. Don't do this to MW.
Hi Cavitham says
Hey, hi, guys.
www.
Mojitos.
Og. Kick Rocks 0.
At Sean Grand High.
I just had the most bangin' sushi. Who? Hi Ariana.
At Starboy Rock Lobster.
Rick Orion says where.
IWANRMAHITOES in my mouth.
Was the sushi raw?
Rick Orion says alright. Rick Orion says I wanna finish this first.
At Starboy, yes. Ew.
Raw sushi, huh? I'm eating light bulbs.
Wah. Ow.
Hi Cavitham.
Aida.
It's so good.
I'll hit them off.
Oh, we know you do.
Real.
Fun.
IUDHH.
Al Haytham is good.
Ah.
Hi Cavitham says do you set the time to 5.
Raw sushi is off.
I want fox meat.
Stop playing. Raw fox meat.
Fox.
BOOTY.
Nah, zero. I eat odd too. Not Alhatham's. Raw say Gex.
Mojitos.
At Tinari_Forest Watcher, you know what I want.
Freaky.
That's my K to get the hell out of here. There's a spider in my room.
Rohalitham Impreg.
Ow.
At MRT cup eat it.
At MRT Cup, there's an axolotl on the pink stairs.
K.
Let's get down to
At
business.
Starboy TSYU follow you.
Spanish King Grand.
Let's get down to business.
No AUTOCORRECR.
At Starboy TSY, follow you.
Let's get
Mr.
down to
Teacup, so
business.
At Starboy, thank you. Yay, I can make the notification go off as much as I want. Starboy goated. Mewing Nuvi.
Say bye-bye to your notifications, MJ.
You. Why thank you.
Wah.
Let's get down to business.
Hi, Ohio.
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 At Muno HIO.
Ohio.
Ohio Skibbity.
Only in Ohio. Fortnite. Ohio FANUMTAX.
Oh, hi.
Let's get down to
Only
business.
in Netlon. PAKLAN.
Please, Hoyo.
Make man. I didn't graduate academia for this.
Give US men.
Word.
Are we doing a ritual?
Men.
DIH.
At Tinari_Forest Watcher, eater mushrooms then.
Giggling.
More DIH.
Men.
At Starboy men. DIJ.
I Cavatham said.
D-I-H.
Rick Orion.
Men. DIH. Why is the house made of
I
nether
Cavatham
wood?
says I want to name one pair.
Red.
Me needs to pay.
Rick Orion says yes PL.
Mr. Teacup can't always talk in third person.
Why is God making me choose between Sims MJ and passing my class?
Wouldn't you like to know whether Miditsu? At MR Teacup sad.
Imagine not putting MJ first.
Mr. Teacup, ow, ow, ow.
LMAO.
Oh, and
Hi
fourth
Cavitham
option,
says ill as my
gooning.
friend if she can join. Rick Orion says
Or all at
yes
once.
BLS. Rick Orion says Paula.
Gooning. Mr. Teacup, Mr. Tay, Mr. Teacup.
Double it and give it to the next person.
Bro Mo aining his own name.
Hi Cavitham says
Mr.
MJ
Freak
can you
Up.
give server info.
I am placing blocks BC. I'm in Minecraft.
Hi
Well-
Cavitham says I can't look at stream RN.
Has anyone else gotten banned in Roblox?
Server. Meg 1,648,197. FMCS. Cloudport. 39,054.
Rick
Nope.
Mr. Teacup is
Hi,
banned
Cavitham
for a
says
week
Tuck.
for hosting a freaky Gojo party. At MR Teacup no, but Roblox got banned in Turkey.
A freaky party.
I am too swag to get banned.
No Roblox.
My daughter is playing that game.
Papa Pew.
Skill issue 0.
POB.
At Starboy.
That's what you get.
Pioi.
Opioid.
At
Rick
Starboy, I
Orion
didn't
says
get
this
banned.
looks like shit high key.
PB.
C. Mr. Teacup has beef with a Deku in Roblox.
ZU took long to Duke. Bakudeku. I'm bleeding. Deku ignored my super amazing Kachan outfit.
Is real. Bakudeku Menachind. Bakudeku Slime.
Bajudeku slime.
No.
I want MAHITOES. MAHITOESSSS.
Mojito a baddie.
Bakudeku
Hi
Slime.
Cavitham says we still gotta bring villagers back with us though.
Bakudeku slime.
I wish MAHITOES was real but with no powers.
I got gaslight again. At Starboy on everyone's soul mojito a baddie.
Al Hatham PPC.
Hell yeah, we alive.
What is PPC?
And well,
At Starboy FRFR.
Tainari PPC.
Pippi C drink. What's Pippi C?
Set the time to 5.
Zero no.
A drink.
Rick Orion says hate crime.
Ahem.
Wish them. Yes.
Rick Orion
I loves my boyfriend.
Waiting. Imagine having a BG. I love my wifey.
BF.
Nice spelling.
Rick Orion says don't burn my
My BF so cuddly.
Cornea.
Rick
Guys, I am finna pass out. Get in the water.
At Starboy.
Hi Cavatham says are we still gonna play on horror
I'll
server?
flash them.
How to stop procrastination.
Rick Orion says I kinda wish everyone was on. Hi Cavatham says true.
Al Nikitham. Thou.
Rick Orion says we got busy here and forgot the horror
fam.
DADSY.
What was that?
Blessed. ALHAITHAMNGH.
My eyesight was restored. Y'all funny.
My sleep schedule fixed.
Y'all the first sane Genshin fans I've met.
My creamer bot.
TikTok stopping me from being.
We are not sane. Wow. Mr. Teacup has been bullied on most Genshin lives.
Rick Orion says why rain?
Mr. Teacup will fight anyone.
Poetic. Mr. Teacup will not hesitate to throw hands. And MR Teacup is ready to take them.
Hi Cabin
Mr.
says
KBC.
I wish the others could come back on. Rick Orion says yeah. Hi Cabitham says at least Paula.
Mr. Teacup, fight for justice. At MR Teacup, just like Nuvi.
Who I goon to. Justice.
What the heck are you making?
Mr. Teacup is Hydro.
House.
Mr. Teacup is Nubis Alpha Alter Ego.
At Timmy asking the true questions. DW bowed at Tim. Mr. Coke is Mr. Teacup's alpha alter ego.
Let's skin Mr. Teacup.
Mr. Coke wants Mr. Teacup's husband.
At MR Teacup Coke.
Let's praise Mr. Teacup.
Mr. COK.
I hate Mr. Teacup. At Starboy Yash. Mr. Teacup the goat.
At LCYLA fight me.
Starboy getting along with someone? Gotta piss BRB less than 3. At LCYLA pulls out machine gun.
Hi Cabitham says EY'll make a nether
Guys, the
portal
choices are
over
increasing.
here. Rick Orion says that would
At
be
LCYLA does a backflip and fires gun.
Anyways, I'm gonna listen to a math lecture. FR, I hope. See ya.
Okay, bro. At LCYLA Mogs.
I'm not used to people caring for me. I feel bad.
3. You guys care for me more than my dad ever has.
Mr. Teacup has scared off the challenger.
Mr. Teacup talking to walls and ghosts?
Hi Cavitham says I'm gonna ficking skin MRT cup.
At Kyo, 3-star, KVLT, silence.
D.
Hi Cavitham says MRT cup is getting skinned. Rick Orion says LMAOO.
Good luck, Mr. Teacup.
I can't see the comments.
Hi Cavitham says Herr Titus word gay hotet von mir.
I've drank Mr. Teacup's tea before.
Don't
Set the time to 5.
Teacup's sad face.
It's not great.
Hi Cavitham says wait I think I got enough
3.
iron.
Hi.
Hi Cavitham says 4 buckets hashtag.
Hi, hi.
Hehehe. E.
Mr. Teacup is tripping.
music so nice.
Real.
Hi Cavithm. Teleported Hi
HII.
Cavithm to 673.50, 65.00, 1565.50.
Hi Kabe. Mr. Teacup needs his sleeps.
Mr. Teacup takes anxiety pills. Rainy.
Mahi toes. Barba toes.
NAHH.
Rick Orion says, what you doing? Hi Cap. Hi Cavithm
pansies
says for
allowed.
another portal.
Jay.
Rick Orion says okay. Hi Cavithm says I found a gold axe. Hi Cavithm. Rick Orion says
I really don't feel like studying.
Rick Orion says what in
Don't study.
Let's hope I'll fix it on my seconds.
Hi Cavithm says fortune 1 and.
Zero, that's how I graduated the academia.
Hi Cavithm.
Academia.
Or let's hope my exam is delayed. At Tinari_Forest Watcher, give me mushrooms then.
At MJ, my major wasn't language.
LMAO.
One question, Mount Teacup. Mr. Teacup studies French and Spanish.
Tinari don't give Mr. Teacup.
At Tinari_Forest Watcher, yes child.
Rickorion says this is so ugly.
Why not Kabe?
I'm scared of Mr. Teacup.
Hikabatham tried to swim in lava.
@Tinary_Forest Watcher Watt. I know you're a consistent customer, but don't worry, your order is ready. @Tinary_Forest Watcher, yes, give me whole stock.
@Tinary_Forest Watcher, Mr. Teacup. Mr. Teacup.
No. I pressed enter. @MR Teacup, nah, that's reserved for Kabe.
Mr. Teacup will pay 10,000% extra.
@Tinary_Forest Watcher.
I'm trying to comment.
Give me a sec.
I'm getting muted.
Althaitam in Minecraft?
Yes.
D. D's nuts.
Do.
You.
Any.
2.
The. Althidam Uso Sigma.
@Tinary_Forest Watcher Hub.
Mr. Teacup likes pink. Mr. Teacup will come back soon. Al-Haytham Pink Tip.
Mr. Teacup will PP. Huh.
@Starboy Zavruga.
Or is it green? S. Meg. Ray Happy Trail.
Good question.
Al-Haytham DIH.
Mr. Teacup feels sick. Mr. Teacup will return.
Why's that? Why? Mr. Teacup is lactose intolerant.
Sigh.
At Starboy plot twist. At Starboy. What did you guys want me to say? Meant to tag Mr. Teacup.
Mr. Teacup, my twin.
At Starboy Real.
Rick Orion says this is ugly.
Zero just wanted to tag me. Tisk. I was trying to tag Mr. Teacup.
Hi Cavitham. Set the time to 25,000.
That's Starboy.
Hi Cavitham was impaled to death by drowned.
No, you wasn't.
Stop playing. At Starboy, I think Zero has the hots for you, Dolphin Boy. WHAYT. What?
Dolphin Boy goes hard.
LMAO. Zero, back off.
What the actual?
I.
M. Steve.
He's married.
Trades. WHAYTT. Shrek SC.
Zero, you're going after a married individual.
DIH.
I'm still trying to type.
D.
At Kyo. 3-star, KVLT, FR0, how could you?
IKR0, what in the
Hi
world?
Cavitham says new nether portal
At
done.
Kyo. 3-star, KVLT. The only married individual I'm going after is Tainari.
Rick Orion says oh.
SMH.
Rick Orion says let me see.
The audacity.
Zero AO.
Rick Orion says nicey.
I am getting accused.
Rick Orion says whoa.
That red crib goes hard.
Hi Cavatham says what?
No,
Hi,
what's
Cavatham
happening
says my-
here?
I thought
Rick
you
Orion
fought for
says
justice,
cool.
Mr. Teacup. Good house. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
less than 3. FR. I like the windows. And if you need anything, Imdra pressed that name is so off.
Let's get down to business.
Cool house, looks like mushroom.
LMAO.
Hi Cavatham says I am a go to the Nether now bye. Rick
That
Orion says
Starboy
okay
who's-
bro.
Horse bro.
Mr. Teacup needs to stand up but too eepy. At MR Teacup my mushrooms will help you.
If you're not a narc,
Other people PLSJOIN adhesive bandage. Sleepy Teacup.
at Tinari_Forest Watcher, yes, send me now.
Mr. Teacup getting roasted over a spit.
At Tinari_Forest Watcher, huh?
Mr. Sleep Cup.
Hi Cavatham.
At MRT Cup, are you?
Hi Cavatham says the new portal got the same spawn.
At LCYLA, you didn't
Rick Orion
respond
says
to my
what?
awesome fighting tactics.
Rick Orion says L.
What's an arc? I forger. Hi MJ. Narcolepsy. Question mark. Sigma.
Hi Cavatham says
Alien Zorp. At Kyo, 3-star, KVLT, Watt.
Rick.
At Starboy Yesh.
Hi Cavatham says yeah. Hi Cavatham says that's RLY helpful.
I like the glass. A lot of glass.
T's music very nice, but not helping Mr. Teacup to get less sleepy.
ILYKU.
I like that the glass makes it easy for stalking.
So you can see when Al-Haytham is approaching.
Mr. Teacup will go pee-pee.
Wow. Yesh.
Hi Cavatham says now I gotta break the old portal though.
Zero get AWF.
Rick Orion said
At MRT Cup, if you want the mushrooms, go below Bill.
House shape interesting.
Rickorion says the side sucks.
Suze. It's Starboy what? Seuss.
Souks. Seuss.
Sasibaga.
Hi Cavatham.
Bubs.
Teleported Hi Cavatham to Rickorion.
Layla jump scare.
Hi Cavatham says what you built looks cool though.
K explode.
Rickorion says thank you.
Sumeru A biome. The floor low-key needs change.
Yes. Gonna use WAD.
Miritsu01 joined the game.
Darkwood.
It should NT be hard to get wood.
Miritsu01 says what?
Nice color, actually.
Hi Cavatham says TDS is not saying it.
Hardwood.
Miwan Alhatham.
Hi Cavatham says let's fucking mortar Mr. Teacup.